Hello and welcome to one of my favorite fighting games as a kid due to me being pretty horrible at all the rest. I think you'll be happy to find that I really enjoy this game even today, even if I did have a bit of a bad run with them when streaming a while back. I liked this game as a kid and have definitely found myself appreciating it more as I learned there was even more to it than I had originally thought. This is going to be a pretty short review, I think, most likely due to the fact that this game doesn't really have any extras, as well as being light on story, but considering this game is bundled with a collection of other fun Sonic games to play, I'm giving it a pass in those regards. Also, since it was originally an arcade game, but maybe I'll throw in an extra info segment, we'll see. On to the basics. This game functions like many other 3D fighting games. You have your main punches, kicks, throws, and blocks, but unlike others, the name of this game is to break your opponent's shield, at least on the CPU side of things. I don't know if we can get a competitive Sonic the Fighter thing going, but I'm 100% down if anyone is trying to do that. Though we do have Sonic Smackdown, complete shout out to that amazing project. Some moves break the shields and some don't, and if your shield gets broken, it's broken for the rest of the game, which is pretty interesting. Speed is another portion of this game, as some characters can just absolutely overwhelm you if you let them. There's also a kind of shifting move that can confuse your opponents that is quite unique to this game, I feel, because every character has the ability to do so, as well as jumping around the arena is a pretty regular thing, as you might get hit up in the air, which pressing buttons can get you into the wake up animation, into bouncing around the barriers, so you don't just get stomped on or punished. But this also works as a tactic to get away from your opponent. There aren't really combos in this game, but you can perform your own combos if you're quick enough, and there's even a few button combination things you can try out. I'm not exactly sure where this story comes from, due to there, as far as I know, being no manual to the game to tell the story, as well as very little shown for waiting to see the video on the title screen, but according to the fandom page, like always, Sonic and Tails are kind of just relaxing, when a bunch of robots start appearing everywhere. Sonic rightfully thinking it has something to do with Robotnik. At this same moment, Tails gets a call from SPO relaying the information that these robots are coming from the Death Egg 2 up in space. Tails invented a rocket called the Lunar Fox, but it requires 8 Chaos Emeralds, a bit inconsistent with these emeralds, Sega, but you know, apparently they had spread the emeralds throughout the world and had given them to their friends for safekeeping, except Fang, who just stole his, and I think this was a smart move on their part, though I don't know why Tails made his rocket need so much power, but whatever. The first person they approach about the emeralds happens to be Knuckles, but in Knuckles' fashion, he decides that he should go up and fight Robotnik, thinking that he's the strongest out of all of them. This almost starts a fight between him and Sonic, but Tails steps in and decides that they should have a clean fight, and the winner would get to go up and put an end to the Death Egg 2. I guess this carries along to all the other holders of the emeralds, and there's no real canon to who actually won, but after almost all the emeralds are found, Robotnik comes and clones the winner, who they fight, winning and obtaining all 8 emeralds and flying up to the Death Egg 2, where they fight Metal Sonic. Winning this fight causes the Death Egg 2 to break down, and Robotnik has a 15-second fight with the victor. Upon the victor winning this battle, they escape before the Death Egg 2 explodes, but Robotnik and Metal Sonic also make it out, though the day is saved. This game is great all around to me. There isn't really any extra stuff to do, but I really like what the gameplay can be. This game was mostly panned for simplicity, but I just think that they didn't give it enough time, and they just probably couldn't beat Metal Sonic, because you can definitely pull off some crazy flashy moves. It isn't all about combos like other fighting games, and this game introduced the fact that there were characters I didn't know about not really appearing in the mainline games that further pushed me down the Sonic rabbit hole. I started to read the comics because of this game, and it just made Sonic mean a lot more to me. You could chalk this up to nostalgia maybe, but I genuinely like this game. This game also gave me one of my favorite Sonic characters ever, being the Dynamite. I wholly wish that Sega would make another Sonic fighting game, but I don't know if it could compare to the amazing stylization that this game has, having one of my favorite depictions of Super Sonic ever, but who knows. Absolutely fuck Metal Sonic. You know what? This game does deserve a nice extra section, because there is some interesting stuff that went into the creation of this game, as well as stuff that just never got implemented for one reason or another. First off, this game's engine was built using the Fighting Vipers, even being relatively similar in gameplay. The more interesting bit about this is that they had originally intended to implement another character in the game named Honey the Cat, who was modeled after the character Honey from Fighting Vipers. She eventually became canon in 2015 in the Archie comics, as well as being implemented in the 2012 Xbox Live version of the game. The funniest bit about this game was how it even came into creation. Masahiro Sugiyama was a developer and was just kind of dicking around when creating Fighting Vipers and added Sonic and Tails in for the hell of it. Another guy named Yu Suzuki presented the idea of a Sonic fighting game to Yuji Naka, who was super excited about the idea, and this game is technically the first to feature Sonic in 3D. A few other characters who weren't further implemented into the game as playable characters are 2 different types of Metal Sonic and multiple versions of Eggman. In Japan, this game was released on the 5th anniversary of Sonic, June 23rd, 1996. On its own, I can definitely see why people wouldn't get the hype, but since I usually play it in the Sonic Gems collection, that usually makes up for the fact that there isn't a whole lot of content to get through in the game. But I think if you grade it on the case of being an arcade fighting game, it does fantastic, and I always have a blast when I play it, even when I'm getting my shit pushed in by Metal Sonic. Hope you enjoyed, and see you next video.